Right, moving on, the president of World Economic Forum is in India for a whirlwind 24-hour tour. Speaking exclusively to WION, the WEF president lauded India's growth story. He also spoke about growing trade protectionism globally and the impact trade wars can have. WION Siddhant Sibal reports.
The world is changing very fast, and with me is an influential voice. With me is the president of the World Economic Forum. So welcome to WION. I'm starting my entire interview by asking you what brings you here to New Delhi.
So we are today formally marking the opening of the Center for the Fourth Industrial Revolution. It's a cooperation between the World Economic Forum and also important businesses in India. And it's really a follow-up on the Prime Minister Modi's speech in Davos this year, where he said that India is going to leapfrog and is going to be on top of the Fourth Industrial Revolution. So I think this is a great collaboration.
You mentioned Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He was at Davos. How do you see his policy, especially on reform agenda?
I think the Indian economy is doing well. But one cannot be complacent. But it is a fact that India now being the sixth largest economy in the world and seeing the fastest economic growth of any of the leading economies in the world, 8% growth expected this year, is quite an achievement. But to keep that kind of growth also in a more difficult international environment where we're seeing a lot of risk factors now, also overheating, inflationary pressure, but also lack of gunpowder if there is a new slower growth period. I think India needs to continue its reform program, and I think the Fourth Industrial Revolution and this center, making sure that India, 1.3 billion people, will be on top of the new technologies is important.
But sir, on reform, the government has introduced a number of reforms in which the ease of doing business has improved. What do you have to say on that?
That is positive, and I hope that this will, of course, continue. One thing is ease on doing business, but also investments in education, infrastructure moving forward, and also making sure that India is leading when it comes to the new technologies that will be so consequential, like artificial intelligence, blockchains, and drones, is crucial.
So the focus of your visit is the fourth industrial revolution, sir. Talk to us about the basic pillars of this revolution which the World Economic Forum is taking a lead on.
Well, thank you. The Fourth Industrial Revolution is really technologies being introduced now that are changing things at an unprecedented pace. Artificial intelligence is one piece of it, but also we have like 3D printing, we have blockchains, we have precision medicine, we have also autonomous vehicles. And if you're not on top of these technologies, I think you're going to lose out in international competition. And for India, that has such a young population, these are great opportunities, provided that you have the necessary skills in mathematics, but also in computer science. These are crucial competence.
India has introduced a number of policies so that there can be a digital space like the Digital India program, payment systems like BHIM. How do you think that these new reform measures when it comes to digital space is giving India a lead in the fourth industrial revolution?
I think these reforms are critical, but they're not sufficient. Because in the Fourth Industrial Revolution, you also will need skills and world-class education. So I think it's very important to make sure that the young population have access to quality education. Based on that, you can really make sure that you have the right abilities to capitalize also on the opportunities. I think 1.3 billion people in India can really have and see real positive outcome of these technologies, and there is good opportunities for India.
So my last question to you is on global economy. We have seen that trade war has broken out between America and China, and there seems to be trade barriers giving rise to all these things, and especially political protectionism. How do you think that this can put a long-lasting damage on the world economy?
The world economy is still looking pretty strong. We're expecting 3.8% economic growth this year and also next year. But you are right that there are some risk factors out there that have to be addressed, trade being one of them. But trade also has changed a lot during the last decade. If you say that this is made in India, due to the global value chain, maybe 50% is produced somewhere else. It's all then put together in India. So trade barriers and increased tariffs can also hurt existing industries in one country that are introducing these barriers. And in a globalized world, we are all in the same boat. And we have to act accordingly. Currently, we are not seeing this, but I think there are also opportunities to solve this. We saw there was big challenges on the NAFTA piece between the US, Mexico, and Canada. Now this is solved, and they agreed on a new trade deal, and I hope this spirit will also then reach the other trade negotiations that are going on.
So what do you have to say about the Me Too movement? We have seen how it has revolutionized the entire world, and this revolution is spreading fast, including here in New Delhi.
So gender and the rights of women is very important. And what we have seen at the World Economic Forum and also through different reports is that companies that take gender issues, sustainability issues very seriously and put it on the top of their agenda, also recruit smarter people, the best people, and we're moving in a way from capitalism to talentism. And companies that are putting also gender and sustainability on top of their agenda are companies that are more profitable. One of the reasons is that they then recruit better talent. Young people, most talented of the young, want to work in progressive companies. I think this is a message also to learn from.
Well, thank you so much, sir, for speaking to WION. So that was the president of the World Economic Forum speaking to WION, lauding India's role, saying that India is a force of stability in an increasingly unstable world. Thank you for watching.